Hey there. Today's episode is a little bit special because being a software engineer, automation, it is a term that is really close to my heart. So before I proceed with this podcast, I'm going to tell you something about the automation. If you don't know what automation is, it's all about when you're doing a repetitive task, day by day, instead of doing it by yourself, you delegate it to a bot or maybe a person, right? So this is a plain and old explanation of automation. So in today's world, automation is become very easy thanks to computer and the internet, right? Because think about it, if you're trying to automate any task 30 years ago, 40 years ago, how do you do it? You need a person to automate their task. Suppose you need to go to certain places to give a bill or a check, right? And you need to do it every day. How do you automate this task? You delegate this to somebody, you pay him, and he give this check on behalf of you, right? But it is becomes very very easy in today's world, thanks to the internet and the computer, right? So what are the things that you should be automating in your life? In this podcast, I'm going to tell you. But before I tell you that, you need to know that what not to automate. So whenever we learn about this kind of stuff, like how we can automate our life and stuff, as a productivity geek, we sometimes get so much excited and we start to procrastinate on that. So do not do that. Do not use automation as a tool to procrastinate. Use it as a tool not to procrastinate. So what do I mean by that? Suppose you are learning about automation, that hey, I can automate some task of my life. Say you add events on your calendar so that you can organize your life in a certain way. Say you do it, right? Now you are learning about automation and you see that you can sync those tasks with your task manager or maybe your Notion calendar and whatnot, and you go there and learn about it, you implement it, and you keep doing it. You're going into this loophole again and again. You don't need this, you don't needed this, because that calendar is enough for you, right? It is working for you. So do not change your system because of the automation, right? So try to automate things that you do repeatedly, right? Do not try to create different automations in your life which you don't need. If you can stop yourself for doing like unnecessary automation, then you can work with the automation. So how I do it? Basically what I do is that, suppose there are some tasks, say it's a bill that I need to give every month. So I have internet bill, I have mobile bill and whatnot, right? All of the things you can automate very easily, whether you can use cred or whether you can use phone pay. You don't even need a debit card or the credit card. You can do it with your UPI ID as well. Now best way to start automation is all the things that you procrastinate on. So what do I mean by that is that, suppose you want to do a task that is relevant for your life, which will improve your life in a certain way, and you need to say sit down there and start working on it. So instead of that, you just start thinking that hey, my desk is not clear, I need to clean it. Or you think that hey, my drive is not clear, I need to clear it. So you are procrastinating on all of this task, right? So instead of that, delegate those tasks to some people or a bot. So what do I mean by that is that, so if your desk is not clean, pay your maid or 200, 300 or 400, negotiation is up to you, right? For a month, and teach her that how to clean your desk in your way, and he or she will happily do it if you pay him or her, right? So delegate those tasks and automate those tasks, right? It's very simple. So start on this place where you do procrastinate, right? Suppose suppose you are actually using on your laptop, you are using basically you are making your file names here and there, right? You're just putting files in here and there. So you're just not sure that you think that I need to organize this thing, because Windows search is pathetic, right? And local search is always pathetic. So instead of that, you just subscribe to the Google Drive. That's it. You can easily search there. You can put any files unorganized manner, and Google will find it, right, for you. So pay for the subscription instead, right? So that's how you automate. So people, when we talk about automation, people think that okay, we may need money to automate things. So we don't always need. So find those areas. So if you don't have any money, find those areas where you do procrastinate, and you can automate this place without money as well. So the given example is that recharge of your phone recharge, right? So or maybe your internet recharge. You can do it, you can automate it very easily. If you have an UPI ID, if you have UPI activated, you can easily do it on any kind of app, right? So find it and do it. So for me, the automation is that very simple. So I'm recording this podcast. It is recording my video on my phone, and it is recording my audio on the mic. If you are watching the video podcast, you can see the setup, right? So how I am doing is this: I have connected everything into a single software, and I just hit record, and it saves everything into a single video file. That is simple automation. That is a simple example of automation. I could have done it separately as well, separately, or edit the audio, separately edit the video, and just merge them together. But it takes too much time because this is repetitive. I record a podcast every day. Why should I do this repetitive task? So if I go one level up, if I find a software which can cut my trim my silences here and there, and automatically upload this to YouTube with a title of AI generated title, AI generated tags, that is called automation. But unfortunately, no software does this yet. Anyway, so that's how automation works. So find those areas which you procrastinate on, and there is no money involved. If you don't have any money to invest in, right, then start automating your life, and you will be thanking yourself every day. So that's it for today's podcast. If you like this podcast, don't forget to give 5 stars, and don't forget to subscribe on this app as well. And if you have any query or message, we are Impulbooks at Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. So that's it for today. Have a good day.